Hi, my name is Dr. Jon Repole at Jacksonville Health and Wellness Center. And in this small segment, we're really just going to talk about the controversies that surround soy. Get a lot of questions regarding soy intake and cancer risks and so forth. So we'll start with the basics. Soy is a bean. It's a legume. It really does not have any magical properties. It's just like a lima bean or a black bean or so forth. So as an example, we can take the bean, which is also referred to as edamame, and we can go through a whole process of heating and coagulating the beans, and we make a product that's called tofu. We can also take that bean and we can add a bacterial culture to it, and we can make a fermented product such as tempeh or miso. These are the traditional soy-based products, right, that inferred the wisdom to the Okinawans to increase their quality and quantity of life. But in the United States, right, we have bastardized, Americanized versions of these soy products, right? Anything that has soy in it does not necessarily mean it's healthy. We're saying that soy hot dogs and soy hamburgers and soy chips are not health food, right? The traditional soy-based products is what is shown to increase the quality and quantity of life, not these other bastardized versions. And just like anything else, we have a reductionist view. So a lot of the earlier studies were done in taking these soy protein isolates. In other words, they were isolating the protein content of the actual soybean. The soybean found in nature has the fiber and the vitamins and the minerals and so forth. It has this holonutrient that conveys the wisdom once you eat it. It would be analogous to taking out the endosperm, say, of a grain. The endosperm is the sugar, right? We know that doing studies with just pure sugar is not going to show us any health benefit, but say the actual grain will convey a different type of health benefit than, say, processed or white flour. So we have to kind of look at the studies, with a grain of salt here to make sure that we're understanding how they're actually doing it, right? So we have this reductionist view, and the soy protein isolates, are found primarily in all the processed foods that we find in the grocery store. And there is also another problem, and that problem has to do with Monsanto and the genetically modification of the crops of soy. So you want to make sure that you're getting organic soy as well. It's not something we're going to get into in this little small segment right here about GMOs, but that's something that you really have to pay close attention to and watch. The other thing I wanted to address in this short clip here is really the estrogen effect of soy-based products. So I want you to kind of think about it that as like a thermos, all right? A thermos keeps hot things hot and cold things cold. So soy-based products have these nutrients in them called phytoestrogens, phyto meaning plant, and then these estrogen-like compounds. And when you eat them and you take them in your body, they kind of act like a thermos. So let's just give an example of a woman who has a low estrogenic environment in her body, in her environment. When she eats the soy-based product, it's going to compete at the receptor sites where the estrogen goes, and actually turn on and slightly increase the estrogen effect in the person's body. And let's just say that the same woman eats a plate of edamame, soybeans, and let's say that this woman now has a high estrogen environment in her body, that is one that's set up for proliferation. Well, when she eats it, it also is going to compete for the receptor sites around the cell, but it's going to diminish the effect, the estrogenic effect. We call this effect, when plants do this, an adaptogenic effect, meaning when you take in the foods, they act as medicine in whatever way is needed. They adapt to the body, and again, like a thermos, they either keep hot things hot or cold things cold. When we take in these soy protein isolates, in other words, these bastardized, Americanized versions of soy products, right, the soy hot dogs and hamburgers and soy chips and so forth, we don't get that same effect, right? Because when you start reducing the whole, which is found in nature, we begin to see deleterious and negative effects on the human body. So there's a lot of other controversies, that surround soy and soy-based products, but I hope these two tidbits helped you. So just again, in summary, We want a varied diet. No one is eating just a soy diet. Soy doesn't have any magical properties. It's just like any other bean. You want to have a whole food, plant-based diet that is varied, and soy can be included in that as a healthy component. But you want to include the soy-based products in their natural state, not the Americanized versions. And as far as the estrogenic effect, that doesn't seem to be something that we really have to worry about when you're eating foods or soy-based foods in their natural state. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you soon.